Hey guys, it's April from Getting Hookah With It. Today I'm here to do the Sisterhood of the World tag. I was kindly tagged by Drinking by My Shelf. If you haven't seen her version of the Sisterhood of the World tag, you have to go and see it. She has had a little too much to drink. I freaking fell in love with this girl watching her video. I'm gonna link it below, so I highly recommend you go and watch it. But the way that this tag works is that it kind of changes up every single time it's done. So Drinking by My Shelf, she has 10 questions here from me to answer, and the people that I tag, I'll create my own questions and then they'll answer those and so on and so forth. So let's dive right in. The first question is, if you had to marry a fictional villain, who would you pick? I would pick Paul Loman from The Dinner. Now, Paul Loman in this book is just an annoying person. He complains and complains. He hates his brother. He's annoyed by the world. And the reason that I would marry him is his dedication to his family. If your house was flooding and you could only rescue one book, what book would that be? And for this, I'm choosing a family book, actually. My uncle, Dennis, he wrote a book when he was younger. This follows a character who's really down in the dumps. He has a basement apartment that is always cold, and he's kind of complaining a lot about his landlord and his landlord not putting on the heat and that kind of thing. But what's interesting about the character is that that's all just really a facade for his heartbreak. I am right in the middle of this book, and I think I would keep that one. Also, the cover was designed by my dad, who's a graphic designer, so I think it's just a really important book for me to keep. I can pick up any other book on my shelf, really, but that one is a gem to me, and it's out of print, so that's my book. Which booktuber would you trust to choose everything you read for the rest of your life? Oh, it's hard to pick anyone really because I love so many for so many different reasons. But if I had to choose one, I would choose Life Between Words. And the reason for this is that she is drawn to books that are very emotive. I know that I would have a few tears reading some. Some of the books would be a big hug for me, and she read it in the last few months, so I know that she'll also add a little horror in the mix every once in a while. So I would choose Life Between Words. Number 4 is, what bookish tattoos do you have or would you like? I'm so fickle about tattoos. I don't have any tattoos at all, and I've been planning on getting a tattoo for the longest time, which is a quote down my back, down my spine, but I'm petrified of the pain and I have a really hard time committing knowing it's going to be there for life. I even had a calligrapher write it out, so it's all ready to go. I just need to get up the gumption. Number 5, what is the weirdest thing you've spilled on a book? I'm pretty boring on this. I would have to say bathwater. A few books have died a sad death because they've been dropped in the bath. So that's probably the strangest thing. The next question is, how do you organize your bookshelf? I organize it a bit strangely. I organize it by genre, and they're kind of all over the place. So I have historical fiction in several places on this bookshelf. I have a horror section. I even have a section for just Nora Ephron books. I have a section for children's lit. So it's by genre and it's kind of all over the place, and only I could really appreciate it most likely, but maybe you could too. Let me know if you'd ever want me to do a bookshelf tour. What attracts you to a book cover? Strangely, the color blue. I don't know what it is, but when I think about some of my favorite books, they almost all have blue covers. Like The Girls has a blue cover, The Light Between Oceans, Station 11. There are a lot of blue books that I really like. What is your favorite word? I'm gonna sound so immature, but the word fresh is my favorite word, and it's because of my mom when I was little, and she would change the sheets and she would say fresh sheets. And the way that she said fresh, I don't know what it is, but I just love that, and I can't wait for me to be a mom and to be changing their bed and just say, there you go, you have fresh sheets. That's it. Thanks, Mama. Number 9, rules on DNFing. Do you do it? What makes you likely to DNF a book? I definitely do DNF a book. If I'm not enjoying a book, I would say even like 30 or 40 pages in, if I'm wanting the book to be over already, I just get rid of it. There's so many books that I want to read. Now, if it's well written, and I'm just struggling with the storyline a little bit, I'll try to work my way through it. Also, if it's a classic, I'll try to work my way through it. But if we're talking about like a thriller that I don't want to read, no. If you could have a job in publishing, what would it be? I do have a job in publishing, but it's magazine publishing. So, okay, I'm assuming that we're talking about books here. I would choose a graphic designer. I think it'd be a great challenge to go into work every day and try to create a cover that matched the tone of the book and reflected the storyline. And really, there's a whole saying surrounding it, don't judge a book by its cover. And the reason that that saying has stuck is because we all do it, or most of us do it. I definitely do. I just think being a graphic designer doing book covers would be really cool. Okay, so it's my turn to tag people. I tag a girl in a book. I tag books, beauty, Ameriie. I also tag books and jams, and then Bree Hill and happily ever Esch. And I also tag you if you feel like doing this. Here are the questions that I am asking. Number 1, what author have you not read that you'd really like to? Number 2, what is the scariest book you've ever read? Because I always need more horror recommendations. Number 3, if you could only read one genre for the rest of your life, what would it be? Number 4, what is your favorite dystopian book? Number 5, do you read one book at a time or many at a time? Number 6, what book do you go back to when you need a reminder of who you are? Number 7, what's your favorite film adaptation? Number 8, what are you most excited to read in 2017? Number 9, do you read self-help? And are there any that you really like? Or number 10, what did you hate reading in school? So that was the Sisterhood of the World tag. Thank you again to Drinking by My Shelf for tagging me in this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.